Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's really great to have you guys here. Today is going to be just a video about what's going on in my life. Some concerns that have been brought to my attention by other people that I wanted to address. And yeah, that's what I'm here for. As many of you know, I share videos about what's going on in my life, or I try to empower and enable others to better their lives, if at all possible. Maybe what you can learn from my life you can apply to yours, that kind of thing. But I'm always trying to be as respectful as possible. This is no different. So, before I technically begin the entire video, I'm going to preface this video with two things. The first one is a life lesson that I have learned over the past couple of years that I try to put out there into the world, at least in my world, in my life. Tomorrow is never promised, ever. So with that being said, even though tomorrow is never promised, try to live the best you can today, because tomorrow may come, but it's only a promise of it coming. We don't know. And to me, that holds a lot of truth, especially in today's world that we're living in, especially with recent events. The other thing that I want to preface this video with is some very wise advice from a wonderful, wise man. Whether it be an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, 5 years, if I am happy and I feel like I am in love, please just be happy for me and with me. Don't be against me. Because no matter what, I'm still happy for that hour, for that day, for that week, for that month, for that year, that 5 years, whatever. So yes, a very wise and wonderful man has taught me that. So if you take anything from this video today, I'm hoping at least those two prefaces will be something you take. I have notes, I've arranged my thoughts, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stick to the script. I actually was not going to do this video for another few days, but Universe decided to knock. I decided to go ahead and answer. So when Universe knocks, you have to answer, right? So, opportunity in the universe. That's why I'm doing it today. So let's begin a little bit, back a little further. Many of you know my life, what has led me up to where I am today. My nearest and dearest know a lot of the details in my life, and there are some acquaintances and some family and friends and stuff that I don't talk to regularly that have ideas but don't really know everything. So I've been approached, and I'm going to start with my nearest and dearest, and I want to make this known across the board, whether I talk to you daily, whether I talk to you once a year, whether I don't talk to you at all. And I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your concerns. I appreciate your opinions. I respect them and I appreciate them. Okay. So I have gotten multiple statements, for lack of a better word, from my nearest and dearest. Worried about my mental health, worried about my current relationship, worrying about my emotional health, worried if I'm going too fast or all of that. I'm going to say this. I'm good. I'm very good. I'm better than good. Good. I have heard through a third party that others that are my acquaintances or those that I don't talk to as often, I've heard through third parties, a middle person, their concerns, their worries, their thoughts, and yes, even, side yard, backyard discussions about where my life is headed, what I'm doing, things like that. And again, I'm going to say this to those folks. I appreciate you. I thank you, but I'm good. I'm very good. And I'm going to add to this, please, if anybody has concerns, anybody has opinions, anyone wants to discuss my life, then please come to me directly. One thing that everybody should know about me already, because I don't hide it, I'm very open, I'm very honest, I'm very blunt. It may come off as mean and harsh, and for that I apologize. I never mean to be mean or harsh. I just know that if I'm open, honest, and blunt, then there's no wiggle room of miscommunication or misunderstanding. So I'm not going to change that, guys. It's taken me a really long time to get where I'm at here, and I'm not going to change that. So please understand it. I do not do it as a disrespect. I do it simply because that's who I am now. Hi, Miss Diane. Thank you. I love you too. So with that being said, those of you that I do not speak to on a regular basis, again, I appreciate you. However, please do not bring in third parties. That these people that are the go-between between you and I shouldn't have to worry about how to handle the situation or to broach a subject like that with me. I feel that is very unfair. So please, if you're going to do anything, if you want to know something, then come to me directly. If not, leave the other people out of it, okay? That's what I'm asking. Out of respect for yourself and respect for those people, please leave them out of it, okay? I, up to this point, was not ready to share anything of my life. Very few people, the ones that are nearest and dearest to me, do know what's going on in my life. That's my inner circle. But I don't think all of them even know the full scope of everything. So that's what today is kind of for too. As many of you know, I have gone through enough of my life to change and evolve into the person that I am. And it's been a lot of hard work. I have trudged through a lot to get where I'm at. I may not be the best version of myself that I want to be, but I'm working towards it. I am the best version of myself presently. I feel that I am actually a better version of myself today than I was 6 months ago, a year ago, or 2 years ago. Okay? And that's because I have worked so very, 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 very hard to get here. I'm going to be completely transparent. Yes, I am medicated. And yes, I go to therapy on a regular basis because I know my mental health, my emotional health, my psychological health, all of it needed help. And I had to literally break everything down of who I thought I was to build myself back up to be the person that I am today. Am I going to change again? Absolutely. Why? Because if I don't continue changing and adding to who I am, then I am not evolving. But one of the major constants is going to be, I'm always going to be open, honest, and blunt. Okay? So that'll never change. So that's that preface for that. yes, like I said, I've been a topic of backyard discussions and concerns and opinions and things like that. And again, I greatly appreciate it all. I understand that is your way of caring. And I appreciate it. I immensely appreciate it. That you care enough to worry about my mental health, my emotional health, my romantic health. And that's okay. That's okay. What I do not appreciate, again, here's where the blunt comes in, and I do it with respect. What I am not going to appreciate, nor am I going to tolerate anymore, as of recent. If you have a negative opinion of me, that's okay. I still love you. But don't come and add another person to that and tell that person, so that person has to tell me. Come to me yourself, okay? If you have a negative opinion of me, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to take responsibility for that because that's not on me. That's not on me. If I've done something wrong and you would like to talk about it, I'm more than happy to talk about it. Maybe we can resolve it. Maybe we cannot. But at least let's sit down face to face and discuss, okay? Don't hate me based on what I'm doing, because you're not living my life. You're not in my realm. You're not knowing the goals that I'm trying to reach, and you've not been through what I've been through, okay? And the same goes for me to you. I'm not in your realm. I've not been through what you've been through. I don't know. So I would never do that to you, so please don't do that to me. I have lost family members. I have lost friends over the last few years, up until recently. I will gladly introduce you to my former family members. I love them as people, or as family members, but I'm no longer attached to them as people. They are what I consider my former family members. Wish them the best of luck. Wish them brightest blessings. I'm not that hateful. But I can definitely introduce you to former family members, and I can introduce you to former friends, because I will not tolerate any of that anymore. You do you. You do you. I want the best for you no matter what. But stop bringing in other people, and please just stop bashing. There's enough negativity in this world going around, and the last couple weeks alone should be a visual reminder of the negativity that's already floating in the world. Do we really need more? Okay? It's just the way it is. Do we really need to add more? Do we need to add that more? So that's, again, a blunt, honest statement I'm going to make. On to the next thing. My relationship, my current partner, versus my past partner. My current partner, Tim Hutton, is a wonderful man. One thing that I have always done, and I will continue to do even more so now, is I will never hide who I am with. And I am with Tim Hutton. I will never hide that. I will always have his back as he has mine. I will never hide who I am with. And when I'm with someone, I'm extremely loyal to them. Okay? That's just how I work. However, the dynamics of our relationship, how our relationship works for the both of us, will never be up for discussion. Never. It's called respect within my relationship. It's that simple. If you're going to come to me and you're going to ask questions, you may get some answers. You may get subtle answers. You may get, a blanket answer. But you will never know the dynamics, because in my belief, what happens between two people stays between two people. That's simple. How their relationship works is between those two. And though I will never hide who I am with, I will be hiding or not sharing, at least, not necessarily hiding, I guess that's too rough of a word, but sharing how my relationship works. Nor will I defend myself for the relationships that I have. Okay? So, it's that simple. Yes, I'm going to address this. My present partner, I was very loyal to, I cared for. I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was living with daily. It was my choice to stay, and it was my choice to take care of him. Okay? And remain. I don't blame that on anybody else but myself. I knew the consequences. I knew what I was getting into way back 30 years ago, and I still continued. And I have very, very, very few regrets for that. Okay? Very few. So, I'm going to make that public knowledge. Do I care for him? Yes. As a person, I cared for him. However, this is going to upset some people. But again, I need you to understand this is my life, okay? Because of the amount of work that I've done on myself with a therapist and such, I have recently decided that I'm no longer going to a new chapter. That book to my past is now closed. Done. Completely. And is put on a shelf because it's still a part of who I am. It's still going to be there. It's still going to be honored. The lessons learned, what I've done is still going to be honored. But that book, the chapters are done. The book is now closed. The book that I am writing now, which has been being written since November of last year, is a new book. It is a new present me. It's a new potential future me. That book is the Amy and Tim book. Okay? You can accept that or not. I'm not going to force that on you. That is your choice. If my videos, if my posts bother you, please feel free to go by. If I bother you, I'm okay. Just know I'm still going to love you and I'm still going to send love. But my new book is being written and has been written since November of last year. And it's the Amy and Tim book. Okay? Any other relationship that I've had in the past, those books are closed and they are on the shelf. I'm not going to discuss that anymore. I've learned my lessons. I've taken those lessons. I've enjoyed that life. I've worked hard for that life. And that life has gotten me where I am today. But this is a better version, a present version of me. And that's where I'm at now. Thank you, Janine. I do. So, with that being said, I'm going to delve a little bit so that you guys understand a little of the dynamics of our relationship, but I'm not going to share a lot. I was in a very dark place. I didn't want anything to do with anybody, okay? I was in a very, very dark place. I was going through therapy. Oh, thank you, Cecilia. And I was going to therapy 3 to 4 times a week. It was harsh. It was harsh. My therapist, bless my therapist's heart, did a very unconventional thing. We had tried everything, and to find motivation, folks, firsthand, I can tell you, to find motivation when you are so depressed and so anxious and so just drained, to find motivation to do anything, even to get up and take a shower, that is a Herculean task, okay? you can't just turn your brain on and say, yeah, I'm going to go get a shower because it'll make me feel better. No, 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 no. That's like you have to literally plan each and every teeny tiny, and then you get so freaking tired of doing that. Okay. My therapist decided to take an unconventional approach. I had never really dated when I was younger. Mind you, I literally got married when I was like 22. Okay. Was with my partner at that time since I was 21. So, you know, and basically 30 years. She told me, she's like, okay, I'm going to take an unconventional approach here. You need to get out to see another person other than your female friends and other than your dad. So she took the unconventional approach. She's like, get out on the frickin' dating apps. Go have coffee. Go find yourself in society as a woman, as a single woman, to understand a little bit more about the psychological aspects of who you need and what you need versus what you want. Okay, basically in a nutshell. Yeah, that was interesting. For someone that was in, 49, 50 years old, dating for the first time, and then apps. Okay, guys. Wow. Okay, holy mother, I applaud anybody that goes on apps and wants to date, or even doesn't go on apps, but definitely goes on apps and wants to date. Holy mother. Wow, I will bow to you. I will applaud you. Because what I found on there was, okay, so the last app, and did I go on dates? No, I went on one, okay, out of probably 30, 40 people that I talked to on 6 or 7 different apps. One physical date. And it literally lasted 30 minutes. That's it. And I got up and left. Was it me? Probably. Part of it was, yeah, I'm going to say. But what I found on those apps made me realize what I wanted, what I needed, okay, in a partner or in, in me. What I found was comfort, or what I found was, this deep psychological need to be a part of someone's life, to take care of them. I mean, it was just a lot. Did the date go anywhere? No. I had coffee. We talked for a few minutes. I was propositioned. Yeah, propositioned. And I got the ick. I got the ick factor, and I'm like, yeah, we're out. We're out. I'm going to go ahead and drive 45 minutes home now. Thanks. Have a good one. The last app that I went on was like, okay, this is it. This is it. I'm not doing anything after this. I've learned a lot, but this is not working for me. Again, I have a lot of respect for anybody that's on apps and it works for them. You guys freaking rock. For me, it wasn't working. I was on this last app. My description was very blunt. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I will not tolerate. Let's talk. Let's have coffee. That kind of thing. My pictures, I think I'd posted on Facebook, which I thought were done very well, professional pictures. However, I was passed up a lot. Which was fine, because my pictures were very, and I looked like I was, the world's biggest, and that was fine, because I kind of looked at that as, okay, it would keep away at bay some of those ones that just, just want to play. And I didn't want to play in that respect. I wanted to get to know you, because if you can't get to know my name, at least my name, before you send what you would like to do to me, or send unsolicited pictures, it demeans you and it demeans me. And I'm just like, yeah, we're not into that. Am I better than anybody else? Absolutely not. This is just my choices. Okay. So my present partner, Tim, was on the same app. He's like, he had swiped quite a while. Going, nope, she looks horrible. Nope, she looks horrible. Nope, she looks horrible. I never seen him because I had condensed my area down to my area. Finally, I'm like, I'm going to go further, and I did. I went further, and he finally decided to take a chance, which I am so glad he did. And I took a chance, and our first talk was in November. And we talked here and there, and it wasn't, a whole bunch, but we had talked here and there. He's highly intelligent. He's very sweet, very much a gentleman, funny, very funny. And we started really this rapport going back and forth. And again, I'm very open. I'm very honest. I'm very blunt. And he's pretty much an open book too. And we have had this thing where we just talked about everything and anything. It evolved into us video chatting after a while, kind of off the app, when we got to know each other and realized that, he's not a creep, I'm not a stalker, I'm not a scammer kind of thing. And it evolved. March, I had gone to see him, this last March 17th, actually, the week of March 17th, we actually met physically in person. And it evolved into, quite honestly, a relationship that I never expected. He has made the comment, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, honey, but it evolved into a relationship that he never expected. Hi, Lacey. He was no longer, he didn't mind talking to women or flirting or something like that, but he was not looking for a relationship, as was I. We were just not. However, it somehow, we sort of both somehow slipped under each other's, walls that we had built, and both found something. And I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm just cherished, if that makes sense. This may hurt some people, but again, I'm going to be very honest because I have to be honest with my feelings. This was the first time in my life that I did not have to take the complete control and reins in a relationship and raise my significant other, my partner, raise that person. They were already raised. They are their own individual. They have their own likes and dislikes. I did not have to raise them. I did not have to coddle them. I did not have to do any of that, and I still don't to this day. And my dad actually made a comment a while back. Relationships hit different when you get older. Relationships hit different when you get older because you've both gone through stuff. You've both been through the gamut. He's been married in the past. He's had relationships in the past. And I've been married in the past. I've had relationships in the past. Both of us have had good and bad experiences. I mean, that's life. But it hits different. You think different. You react different to these things that come up. And when you're older, these relationships hit on a completely different level. And I think I just told him that the other night, and I'm like, sharing this, and my dad with his wisdom had said this. He's like, you will never understand the person that you are now needs a certain type of love more so than the person in your past, and will change that need. The way that you need to be loved now will change for the future, as long as you are willing to accept it and evolve through it. He's like, what you needed, what you wanted the most when you were younger, in my teen years, was that whole connection. That mindset of mine was not fully developed to really know what I wanted. But at that time, at my age and my mentality at that time, I did. But looking back on it now at 51, it's like, oh, okay, that was the young love. That was the maiden, having her fun. Being married, living a traditional wife life, and I have nothing against trad wives, so don't come for me, okay? Please don't come for me. I just realized I'm not a traditional person. I don't want to be a traditional wife. I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to do any of that. That's not who I want to be. I want something different. But I lived for 30 years as a traditional wife, and I lived as a mom. I've lived as a grandmom. I've lived as a wife. I've lived, lived all that. And I'm okay with that. That was a wonderful time in my life. I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about myself, and I was contented enough. I was content. There was always a small part of me that was a little bit rebellious, and, but I was content enough because I stayed. I made my own compromises. Did I lose myself a little bit? Yes, I did. Because that's me. Okay, I'm not saying it's anybody else. Again, not putting down anybody else at all. Who I am now is completely different from that. The relationship that I have now with my partner, we talk about everything. Everything is transparent. Everything. Nothing is ever left out. We do not lie to each other. We do not use each other. I don't need him. I want him, if that makes sense. And we both respect each other for that. He does not need me. He wants me. So it hits different. And I realized in therapy session that I am not in the mentality of being a traditional wife anymore. I've done that. I'm doing something else now. I don't know what it is, but I'm doing something different now. And I'm good with that. Especially with the person that I am with right now. So yeah. So the book that I'm writing now for my present version of me to my future is the Amy and Tim book. It involves Tim. It involves my partner. It involves my dad. It involves, all of this. Because this is the version I am today. I don't expect anyone to understand. I don't expect anyone to, want to be a part of it. I don't expect anyone to accept it. If they don't wish, that is on them. I am not going to take responsibility for that. I can't force someone to do something. But going back to the preface I had stated, the second preface I had stated, whether it be an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, 5 years, if I'm happy, be happy for me and with me. That's all I ask, if you can. And the same for him. If he's happy, be happy for him. Be happy with him. Because everybody in this world needs to be happy for just a minute and needs to know that others around them are not going to bring their happiness down. If you don't like a person's partner, that's okay. That's okay. You can still respect them. Show respect to them. But you don't have to like them. But be happy for your friend. Be happy for your family member. If you can. At least try. Because that person has gone through their own journeys. And they deserve to be acknowledged that they are happy. right here, right now. I don't care if the relationship with Tim lasts a year, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. I don't know. None of us do. But I'm happy right now. I'm happy where it is. And I'm going to continue building on that happiness. With or without how it goes. Okay? So there's that. Let me get a drink. Yes, I have my water. And yes, I have my Stanley Cup. So these are some of the things that I've learned over the course of that. Now, on to the next quick topic. The pictures that I posted yesterday. Wow. The amount of feedback, like verbal feedback that I've gotten from messages on Facebook and messages literally on my phone have been varied like this, up and down, up and down. And I understand that for some, it was quite a shock to see me in poses like that, in areas like that, dressed in such a way, especially posting them on a social platform. I know that was not something that I've really ever done in the past. And I know it may have come as, for lack of a better word, shock. So I do apologize if I shocked people. I think that they are done very, very well. I am actually very, very proud of them. Hence why I posted them. I'm not going to be posting anything extremely racy because that's just not who I am. That is something that is just not going to happen. But the amount of comments that I got, I want to say good and bad. I thank you all for each and every comment, good and bad. I thank you. For the support, I thank you. For the non-support, I thank you. Okay. I made those posts. I made those pictures because I've always hidden myself. Going back to, I had this thought process that I had to present myself in a certain way to society, to the family, showing respect for my partner, showing respect that I was a wife, I was a grandmother, I was a business owner, I was this, I was that, and never really showing respect that I was a human being and an asexual human being. I actually have hated my body for many years. However, with my partner, my current partner, I have learned to be able to see myself through his eyes. Because one thing that man cannot do is lie. Because he has such a conscience that if he lies, he will have to come through and tell you because he can't live with himself. That's the type of person he is. So when he tells me that he likes an outfit or he likes something about my package, then I know he's telling the truth. So I've been able to see more of myself as a woman through his eyes. And I actually told him, I want to say the other night, thank you for that, because I'm able to see this. I'm able to accept this a little bit more. Because sadly, in my mind, I go through life and the whole idea of me saying, you can only be a certain size if you're oversized or whatever. If you're a curvy, voluptuous, woman, then you're not, sexy, you're not beautiful, you're not accepted. And I've gotten that my entire life. I was bullied for being too small when I weighed, 60, 70 pounds. And I got bullied for being almost 300. And I'm in a nice little balance right now. So to be able to see myself through my partner's eyes in a new way has really truly helped me to grow as a woman, not just as a person in general, but as a woman first and foremost. Because as a woman, at least for me, I need to remember that I'm here for a reason. I deserve to be, seen. I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to put myself on that list. Those types of things. And it sounds ego, but I guarantee you it's not. I know for one, and I tell this to people all the time, I'm not the best person in the world. There's people out there that are always going to be smarter than me, always prettier than me, always have more money than me, always have more opportunity than me, but I'm going to cheer them on anyway. Yeah, you go. Woohoo. Absolutely. You go, girl. You freaking rock. Or you go, guy, yeah, I'm happy for you. There's always going to be someone better than me. There's always going to be a better version of somebody out there better than me. But I'm going to be the type of person that's still going to go, you rock. Keep going. Keep going. And I know that there are people out there that could potentially make my partner, Tim, my man, Tim, happier. Absolutely. It's not, it's nothing to do with ego. It's being humble. It's true. However, he's chosen me and I've chosen him. So long story short, I'm able to see myself in a different way. And I have not seen myself like that in ever, forever. Okay. Which, that's okay. At a certain time, you kind of have it. So, being able to put those pictures out there, that took a lot of courage for me, to do. And am I proud of them? Absolutely. Am I proud of myself? Absolutely. Because that was a little victory for me. I did shock my therapist. My therapist was like, okay, you go. Woo, you go. Never expected that from you, but you go. And that's fine. That's fine. I did it more for me because this is where I'm at presently. This is where my growth, my evolution is going, where I'm writing in this new book of Amy and Tim. I'm writing my new book of my present because I'm not going back to the past to write in that anymore. I'm writing this new book, and this is where I want to be, is in this new book. So those three things. With that being said, the last thing that I want to approach today is, it has been decided that my father and I are going to be going and wintering in Pennsylvania with Tim. And there is a very, very strong potential that I will be moving permanently to Pennsylvania or Ohio with my dad and my dogs. Wherever I go, my dad and dogs go, just so you know. Again, this was a long and difficult decision that my father and I discussed, and that Tim and I have discussed. But this decision did not come lightly, and I'm going to tell you why. I cannot continue writing this present book when I'm somewhere where the old book is closed. I need that fresh start. And Tim is my heart. He is my soul. He is everything. I love that man more than I can ever put into words. Ever. That man is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He is kind. He is gentle. He is fair. He is funny. He is everything. And my dad likes him too. And for me to be able to be a part of his life, I want to be closer. I want him and I to continue building on our relationship here in the present as well as the future. And in order to do that, I need to leave Michigan. It's that simple. I need to leave where I'm at, especially where I'm at physically, in order to continue to grow and evolve where I want for the future. That does not mean that I will not come back and visit, okay? But I will not come back to visit in the winter, just so you know. But I am putting that out there that we are hoping to be gone and be in Pennsylvania by November, hopefully before the first snowfall. But you know how Michigan is. Right now we've got, 84-degree weather, kind of thing? I don't know. But this decision was not made lightly. I have made this decision with my father and with my partner, Tim, my man, my wonderful man. We have discussed this in depth, and this is where our life is going, where our decisions are going to take us. Again, and I'll be honest with you, and I doubt highly it'll ever happen, because honestly, I can't see that happening right now. But if there's even a small iota chance that Tim and I don't work out, I can guarantee you that I'm not moving back to Michigan. Michigan has served its purpose for many, many years, but I will not be back in Michigan. I will go elsewhere. I will be back to visit because I have people that I care about a lot, but I will not move back to Michigan. Michigan is no longer an option to live in for me. Once I leave Michigan, I leave Michigan for good. Does that mean for my home, for Eleanor? I don't know yet. We'll see where the steps take us. And I'll let you know. But I can tell you this, I will not be here this winter. One way or the other, I will not be here this winter. I will be in Pennsylvania with my dad and my dogs. So, there. That's the whole shebang. Now, those nearest and dearest to me, they know this. Those that are acquaintances, they've gotten inklings, I'm sure. That's why I'm being very open, honest, and blunt right now and telling you right here for the world to see what's going on. So, yeah. So, with that being said, I'm going to reiterate, tomorrow is never promised. Period. Tomorrow is never promised. Take what you can today, learn what you can today, put it into play today to make your present more solid and grow into the future, because tomorrow is never promised at all. And if a person, whether, I don't care who it is, if a person that you know is happy with somebody else for an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year, 5 years, please, 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 try to be happy for them too, because they've worked really, really, really hard to get there. And they believe in love. They believe in that. And their hearts are pure and their souls are pure, and they deserve for other people just to be happy for them. Whether you like that person or not, whether you're worried your friend or family member is going to get hurt again, I understand that. That's your show of love. I get that. But that person's show of love also deserves to be honored. Okay? So that's all I ask for myself. That's all I ask for Tim and I as well. Whether you're comfortable with it or not, know that I have not gone into this relationship with closed eyes. Actually, before Tim and I really became a solid couple, like verbally acknowledged that we were a couple, we had many deep talks. I'm not going to lie, I misinterpreted his explanation, what he was trying to tell me, and we didn't talk for like a couple of days, and that just solidified the fact that I cared for him deeply, and we talked, and I said, I can love somebody, I can care for somebody, but if you can't accept all of me as much as I accept all of you, and you should expect me to accept all of you, then this isn't going to work. So we had multiple conversations, in-depth conversations, of how our relationship was going to work, how we're going to be moving forward, basically what it is that we expected, what it is that we were willing to compromise, what our boundaries are, all of it. One big thing is that he and I are completely transparent. I know every aspect of his past. I know every aspect of what's going on in his present. And he knows every aspect of my past, everything that I do in this present. We hide nothing from each other. And we talk nightly. Sometimes daily, depending on if his day's off. But that right there was a big thing for us. So yeah, neither one of us wanted a relationship when we both realized that we had deep feelings for each other. We sat down and we talked about it all. And I don't know, it's never promised, but I'm going to work really, really hard to make sure that tomorrow always comes. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. I'm very fulfilled. He is my calm, safe space. He's just amazing, guys. I'm well aware, my eyes are very open, of where we're going. And should we decide to buy a house together and live together, I'm good. I've learned my lessons from the past. He's learned his. We're taking those steps. Because this is where we both want to be. We have found our person, for sure. So I hope this helped today, to at least maybe you can take some lessons, or learn some lessons, or take some wisdom, whatever you wish to call it, from my video today. I hope it wasn't too sporadic. But I hope that you know that I'm coming to you with honesty and love and openness, and yes, bluntness, as well. But I do it out of a place of respect. But I hope too that out of any of my videos, out of any of my blog posts, out of any of my friendships with you, out of any of my any interaction that I have with you, I hope that I have helped in some way, including today. Okay? So as always, remember, you are phenomenal. You are amazing. You deserve every ounce of happiness. And just keep going. You got this. You got this. And I will talk to you all, I'm sure, soon. And many, many, many blessings to each of you, and have a wonderful day. Big hugs, big loves. Bye for now.